Okay, so piece 1, the lame duck. Piece 2, the Slithery Snake. Piece 3, the Giddy Horse. Piece 4, Pause. This one needs to be played slow and mischievous like a cat. Piece 5, the shark in the pool. Play the accents in a fun manner, and the last chord is like where the shark bites the person. So you can have fun with the last chord. Okay, so the 6th piece I have is Shoe Fly. This is supposed to be a cat. As you can see, I love animals. A cat going around after a fly, like chasing the fly, frantic. And at the end, I decided to imitate a cat walking across a piano, because who doesn't love to do that in the piano? There is no notes that you need to press in particular, just literally have fun. I know, I would love to do that as a child. Okay, so this one is as fast as you can go and make it humorous. And then have fun with it. And then finish with. The 7th piece is Mr. Burger's Busy Day. As you can probably gather by now, I love staccato. I just love playing like spirited, funny kind of pieces. So you will find quite a lot of staccato in my pieces. So this is Mr. Burger's Busy Day, inspired by a pupil, Orla, that I had one day that came in with a burger and she was after having a very busy day, and just kind of seemed to follow after that. The 8th piece is Super Silly Sausage. This one, actually, when I was composing it, again, with the same pupil, Orla, we actually came up with words to this. So it was like, super silly sausage, sizzling in the pan, super silly sausage, catch him if you can, super silly sausage, now he's on the run. And we made it minor there because he's going to get caught. And then a bit funny here at the end, then somebody caught him and shoved him in a bun. So it might help to learn the rhythm if you put words to it. This duet, High Security Biscuit, I wrote it for 2 students, James and Cormac Lynch, who actually played it at a Fesh Matthew in Cork and won the competition. It's a very simple piece, needs to be played with mischief, and again, have a bit of fun with this. So because there's only one of me, what I'm going to do is record each part separately, then I am going to play the right hand on top of a pre-recorded left hand. So I'm going to pre-record the left hand here first. I'm going to give it a beat in first, so I can 1, 2, 3, 4. So very staccato. So you're tiptoeing in. So as your mother has just told you, you have to stay out of the press. She's making beautiful chocolate biscuits. And you're keeping a watch. See when you can come in to get it. So it gets more hopeful here as you're getting near the biscuit. So you're getting quite confident. Your brother's not going to catch you. You're near the biscuit. You're working out the combination code. And then she's coming in the door again. So be careful. And then at the end, she's going to catch you. And you're running. And that's the left hand. So that pre-recorded. Now the right hand that goes with that is tiptoeing into the kitchen very quietly. That's why there's less notes. You're checking out the place, see where it is. fast, you have to go faster. At the end of this duet, my student walked off the stage laughing with a biscuit in his hand, and he said, guess what? We got the biscuit. And the adjudicator loved it. Okay, so I'm going to do the duet part now. The next piece is actually the very first piece of music that I ever composed. I composed this when I was 14, when I took up the piano first. I have a funny story actually to share about this one. I didn't actually have a piano, so I had a stylophone for a long time, and then I got a little keyboard, and then eventually when I got my first piano I learned this piece. I was very influenced by Phil Coulter, so I think this has a very like Phil Coulter feel to it. So gentle and flowing, you'd be glad to know it's not staccato. The next piece, The Dancing Ballerina, was a one I composed in college. I had a piano teacher, Seamus DeBarra, who was actually a composer. And I remember at the time I had written that Night Sky actually, and I played it to him. He won't mind me sharing this funny story. He thought it was like, he said, oh, it's very like toilet music. So because I wanted to impress him, because he was such, I have such respect for the man, and he's just so influential. He was so influential in my years growing up. I decided I would go completely different in style, and I would write something that was, you know, more classical, I suppose. So I called it The Dancing Ballerina. I apologise, every so often you might hear a door closing. You know, I'm a working mum and I have children in my house, so it's rare that you would get a soundproof room, as you all know. So the next piece I have is the Summer Antics. Okay, next up we have Summer Antics. I would suggest playing this one with metronome in the background. It's particularly beneficial for the second half, where it goes. To keep those scaly passages very steady. I wrote this actually for a student. I wrote it for a pupil called Sarah 9 years ago. She entered the Fresh Matthew, and I think she actually won the competition. So this is the piece I wrote for Sarah. Okay, the next piece I wrote when I was in college. Again, it was when I was studying with Seamus DeBarra, who is an Irish composer. So I wanted to impress him one day, so I wanted to write a technically, I hate using the word perfect, but I wanted to write it like a technically perfect piece. Your typical kind of like exam type sort of piece. So it's very, very different to my usual style, extremely different. So it's called Minuet Nef, and I dedicated it to Seamus DeBarra. Kind of Mozartian. Oops. The next piece I have is a piece I wrote in my college days. I did this for my 4th year degree as part of one of my performance modules in traditional music. I had Micheál Sulival actually at the time as my examiner, and I just wanted to impress him. I wanted to get a good mark, you know, it was my final year. So I decided to write a hornpipe instead of performing somebody else's one. So that's what I did. So here it is. So my mother actually put the title to this. It's called Casa na Fáin Láige, the Turning of the Swallows. So that's what she thought it was like. This is a little piece I wrote when I was actually in college. I called it Crazy. It was one of those pieces I wrote when I was actually in a really mad form. One day I was mad at something. Don't ask me what it was. It's a long time ago. Can't remember. But I just lashed into the piano, took it all out the piano, felt great after. So it's one of those pieces, if you're on a bad day in school, you can just like play this, hopefully, and it will bring you a bit of fun as well. So it's called Crazy. I would suggest the part on the 1, 2, 3, 4th and 5th line on the first page. Again, I would suggest playing that with a metronome until it's secure first, like. That's the only tricky part in the piece, really. Okay, so this is Crazy. The next piece is a slow piece. It's called Lost in a Forest. I think it's quite a sad piece. I wrote this as part of my first piano album that I composed there a few years ago. It's called Per Ardua ad Astra, and it's under Maria White Composer. It's on Spotify, actually, the whole album. Eventually I will turn that album into a book also. So the first one is called Amissium in the album, so which means lost. It's Italian. Sorry, it's Latin. I beg your pardon. It's Latin. So what I did was I actually made the whole album Latin, just purely because I liked the sound of the titles. So obviously Amissium wouldn't mean much to a person in the book, so I just said I'd call it Lost, and I just changed it a little bit to Lost in a Forest. So just play this one very gently and really bring out the melody. It's like someone like wailing, crying in the forest, looking to get out. So here it is. knows, at the end, in the next book, I might make it a found ending. The next piece I have is an Irish air. I wrote this piece for a very well-known musician, Maurice Lennon from Stockton's Wing. I got to know Maurice just literally like a few years ago. He came across a piece I wrote, which is at the end of my book, called The Wing of an Angel. And he was just very moved and very touched by it. And I got the most beautiful message from him. And I decided to write a piece for him. I was so just moved and touched by his lovely message. So I wrote an Irish air for him. So this is an Irish air for Maurice Lennon. And he actually wished me good luck in my launch the other day on Messenger. So that was so nice. So this is Irish air for Maurice Lennon. Now I haven't ornaments written into this, but I do like to play it with ornaments myself the second time around. Slightly non-traditional. This one needs to be played with a lot of expression. I listened to Maurice's music and I discovered what's made him stood out to me was, he plays traditional, but he plays with beautiful sense of feeling and sense of phrasing. So that's kind of what inspired this. So yeah, that's my Morris Lennon art here. Hello everyone, thank you so much for your support, and thank you for buying my first piano book. I made the YouTube recordings tonight. Actually, the book just arrived today, so it's been a very, very busy time. The only two I haven't recorded today, they're already up on YouTube, are the Bumblebee's Escape, which is the piece I suppose that most people would know me by, that I wrote in 2021, and it was published by the Royal Irish Academy. And the other piece is The Wing of an Angel. That is already on my composer channel. If you look back a bit, you'll find that. So the artwork for my book was done by my daughter, my beautiful daughter Aisling, and it means the absolute world to me that she did that. And the book is very special in that it's all my original compositions, stemming from when I was in college. Actually, the first one when I was age 14, that piece is actually in the book. Sorry, I'm looking at this video now and I'm looking so tired. But there's been an awful lot of work gone into it this week, and it has been exhausting, but it's been like one of the best fulfilled dreams that I've had in my life. I just, I'm just so happy. The recordings on my YouTube channel, I would say they're far from perfect. They're exactly as I am in tonight. Working mom, 3 kids. I don't have soundproof rooms. So, it is as it is. And I think things don't have to be absolutely perfect. I wouldn't consider myself the most fantastic pianist in the world. I'm a good teacher and, I'm able to compose. But, I did my best shot. So there might be slight little slips, but I hope you'll all forgive me. So yeah, and my students, this was a very special part then. My students actually did the artwork for my book. And I wanted to make the recordings because, I want kids to be able to hear the pieces. Apologies about the video, actually. I noticed when I look back on it, it looks, my hands are reversed, but it's really just the audio of it, just to, some pieces I spoke on the video about. And it's just to give you an insight into what each piece was about. And there's a few little tips and a few places on how to play them as well. So yeah, so I welcoming my book into the world, The Bumblebee's Escape, and hopefully this is the first of many books for me. I love composing. It comes like very easy to me. Most of those pieces, the shorter pieces, literally I would have written them within a couple of minutes. The other ones obviously would be a bit longer. So the book is long overdue. It's long overdue. I've written a lot of them now in the last 6 years, but they were always just in my head. They were never like out on paper. Apart from The Bumblebee's Escape and The Lame Duck, and The Slithery Snake was always so I won produced by the Royal Irish Academy in 2016. I found out that was the date. So some people might remember doing that for primary grade. So I hope you really enjoyed the pieces, and hopefully that the pieces will be useful for you in like medal exams or school exams. Yeah, so I really hope you like it. I just wanted to make this video tonight, I suppose, on the day that I I got the book, and just excuse me looking so tired, like apologies, but you know what, it's just nice to just be as you are and just say it as it is. So have a great time playing, and I look forward to hearing your comments. Oh, the other thing is I didn't put fingering into the book, and the reason for that is I'm a firm believer that everyone has their own, like every child, I was going to do actually a picture of this in my book and I never got around to doing it. If you put every child's hand on a piece of paper, and if you sketched around it, everyone's hands are so different, and that is why no one size fits all. So that's why I purposely have not put in fingering, because I want you to be able to customize this yourself to what's best for your student. I've also, the book is, you'll notice it's a gloss finish, so it's not going to smudge, it's not going to wear and tear. And yeah, I'm just really, really delighted and relieved it's it's here now in the world, and I'm just going to add this to the other videos. So hopefully this will work. I've never done cap cut before in my life, but I'm going to learn tonight. So yeah, I look forward to your feedback. Enjoy.